retard alert, ladies and gentlemen, we got a retard alert. My God, if there's been anything that this whole Gamergate 2.0 situation has uplifted and made us more aware of, it's that the internet is full of oddists that are quite dangerous, quite scary, that I wouldn't want to be alone with them. The latest one, there's a games journalist who's been freelance. He's done work for several different outlets out there, Ryan Easby, who's saying that Grummz, Mark Kern, if you follow him on Twitter, he's the one that made the Stellar Blade petition, the hashtag Free Stellar Blade. He's been posting a lot of stuff that's making people like Alyssa Mercante and Nick Calandra pretty upset. This guy literally said that Grummz should never know a moment of safety or peace in his entire life. Keep in mind that this is the side that plays victim. If they get any kind of targeted harassment, even though it's not harassment at all, they play victim. They say that they're attacked endlessly. We saw that Shadow of the Erdtree review that Alyssa Mercante put out the other day, where in the middle of a review about Elden Ring's DLC, she says that she's been subject to endless harassment the last 4 months. And we always get that from these people. They say, oh, I'm being harassed nonstop by a whole bunch of angry middle-aged men. But then the real truth of the matter is, it's full of people like this, like Ryan Easby, who are the ones that are giving the harassment, who are the ones throwing violent threats, who are the ones that are violent towards people, that post hatred and vitriol online. They try to say it's the people that are anti-woke that are the problem, that we're the toxic male gamers, that we threaten people's lives, when people that are literally saying people should not have any peace or safety in their life are the ones that are claiming to be the ones that aren't hateful. Like, how backwards is that? So I was reading this whole article right here, looking at this photo of this guy. You talk about a soy boy, somebody that literally looks like the living definition of a basement dweller, making comments like somebody should not know a moment of safety or peace in their life. What the fuck is this guy going to do? What's he going to do? Whatever it is, I definitely don't trust it. You never want to, I guess, lay low or let your guard down when it comes to these basement dweller types, because we've seen, not naming any specific instances, but we've seen in recent times how often these guys are capable of doing something stupid because they feel like they're oppressed and cyberbullied and victims, when they're the most hateful ones of all. So I was taking a look at this article, and it's just a complete mess. Real quick, just for note, just for transparency, this individual does have their post protected on Twitter, or X as you call it. That's sign number one that they're crazy. All these wokies, they go protected tweets, they hide behind it, they talk the most shit, they're the most passive aggressive towards things, and they hide behind it when the backlash starts getting too much. So this article came out about him, and he was already crying about the image that they used. He was all like, oh, come on, really, they use that photo? I'm sorry you look like a school shooter. I'm sorry you look like a basement dweller, but that's who you are. So, yeah, protected tweets. And I saw this response about Grummz to his response. So you can see he's quote tweeting Ryan, who said he should never know a moment of safety or peace in his entire life, I think. Grummz goes, dude, I tweet about video games. Why does this bother you so much? And I know Grummz is a very polarizing figure, especially against the wokies. They absolutely hate everything that he stands for, everything that he calls out for. But yeah, you're a gaming journalist. You write articles for websites. So Ryan Easby, as I said, is freelance for various outlets like NME, PCGamesN, The Escapist, no surprise there. I guess he's chummy with Nick Calandra, The Gayming Magazine, and he's basically making threats, I guess, in the name, in the honor of Alyssa Mercante at Mark Kern. And I guess this is all in response to a tweet that Alyssa made about, I guess, the transgender bullets that were in Call of Duty, which I made a video about that, and we touched on it briefly, but I really hadn't made quite a big stink about it. But you can see Alyssa Mercante put, Mark Kern's lying again. Here's the results of our testing. The skin on any gun other than the Special Edition M4 have regular bullets. The tracer rounds on the Soul Harvester blueprint seemingly unintentionally apply the skin to the bullets. At one point, only the pink from the trans flag is on them. See the attached videos. These grifters will continue to lie to you, to farm rage, and keep your attentions constantly moving between issues. Aren't you guys the ones rage baiting, farm baiting, whatever you want to call it, the daily outrage. You guys claim that y'all are against the daily outrage, but in all honesty, you guys are the ones that are constantly bitching and putting your narratives online. Now, that tweet that she put is full of shit. The bullets were introduced into the game, and they're available if you have the M4 weapon. And the original coverage written by Kotaku basically notes that they actually were included in the game. Activision introduced them. So I don't know why Alyssa Mercante is saying that they weren't including to it and that it's an accident and that somehow I don't fucking get it. But some weird damage control, I don't know, to try to pull a gotcha on Mark Kern. I have no idea. But, to get to the point where you're wanting to wish people no safety because of what they're writing about games, because it hurts your feelings that much, is pretty insane. And on top of being insane, Ryan put this: soft launching my campaign to kick Mark Kern in the balls. Now, whether you want to say, okay, that's a joke, he's just clearly jesting, that's a threat of violence at whatever level you want to take it. And I know the wokies, oh, come on, he's just joking. You want to act like you're offended by it and worried by it. It doesn't matter. The side that these guys are on, there's enough people there, a small percentage, mind you, that are crazy enough to go do something stupid to innocent people because they see them as bigots. They see them as racist, because that's the narrative that you guys like to play out there. Now, good old friend of Alyssa Mercante, and I like to call him the muscle queer, John Feeps, who's actually part of a podcast. I think the podcast is actually called Super Deluxe Gamescast, basically endorsed this, saying it's actually quite based. They would donate to a campaign for Grummz to get kicked in the nuts. So you can see right here on Park Place, they actually show that. And I had the image right here as well, that it's quite based. So these are people that are in the gaming industry as influencers and journalists, like John Phipps. So if you go to his Twitter, he's constantly crying and bitching and pitchforking and gatekeeping. And I've seen some interesting stuff about him not too long ago where people were actually claiming a lot of his military history is tall tales and lies, actually, which I still have to look into that, because that's really interesting, because this guy's come to me in the past trying to say that I'm opening myself to a lawsuit for Mercante and everybody like that. Now, here's somebody called Michael's Keeping It Together. Says, agreed, this is A-OK. And I believe this is somebody that was previously working with Riot Games. And the aspect that they are in, it was a senior concept artist and current art director at Easy Games. So this person's basically approving the call to assault Grummz. And imagine if it was the other way around, right? Imagine if this was a whole bunch of right-wing MAGA white guys saying that it would be okay to kick Nick Calandra in the balls. All these little wokies would be crying. Their vaginas would be sore. They're the ones that try to play victim. They call, themselves oppressed and stuff like that. But they're the ones that get the ugliest online. They try to insult people. They try to call people stupid. They throw everything in the book but a son of God. And they're the first ones that always throw death threats and violence out there. Imagine if it was the other way around. They would be losing it immensely. And Ryan Easby is just fucking weird overall. Terminally online. You can see some of the tweets he's had in the past. If there's one thing to take away from this week, it's that gamers don't deserve video games. Just send them to a construction yard or something instead. Gamers don't deserve video games. Again, another person that hates video gamers. They hate you. They hate me. They hate anybody that's a toxic gamer. If we go against the grain, if we don't go into their political narratives, if we don't allow them to cosplay as gaming journalists, we are a problem, and they will try to take care of us through any means necessary, whether it's doxing us, invading our privacy, contacting our wives and our family members, just all around being insufferable pieces of crap. That's how these people operate, and they gatekeep. If we don't want to go into their DEI nonsense and support what their echo chamber is, they will call for us to not have our video games. That's how these guys operate. Hands down. Which is what we're seeing here. Do something else instead. Work at a construction yard. Do anything but enjoy video games on your free time. And they mean it. They're not just saying stuff here. They're not just insulting. It's not just internet. These guys want us as far from video games as we can get. And you can see he also thinks it's possible to not be racist against white people, which is something similar to what Alyssa Mercante has said in the past, which we'll get into that. But you can see he says it's weird. If you're truly based, you'd know it's unequivocally and provable that racism against white people doesn't exist, no matter how much a mob of angry community noters want you to think. Again, another typical person that hates white people. This is what they teach in college now, by the way, with your liberal arts professors. They teach you that white is bad. They're the great colonizer and that they've oppressed people for years and all this bullshit. They are revising history as we speak with all this critical race theory nonsense that's going on. And it's part of why I stopped becoming a teacher as well. I was a teacher for a little bit. I can't stand this crap that they're teaching in schools. So I got out of that profession not too long ago. But you can see just hating white people all the goddamn time is what they pledge in here. And again, once in a while, they'll tweet this stupid crap. You can't be racist against white people, pal. And it's just every time I see people post this, it instantly tells me who to block, who to unfollow, who to mute. You see, oh, you silly, you can't be racist against white people. I see your mistake. You can be racist against anybody. Right? It's weird that they want diversity, but no white people. And they say that diversity is genocide. It is. It's genocide against white people. You can see right here, Alyssa speaks only the truth. You simply cannot be racist against white people, the dominant power in the world. And this is a tweet from Alyssa Mercante, who's fucking sick in the head, guys. She's sick in the head. Wait till I show you guys the images from her Flickr on another video. Racism is about systems of power, therefore you cannot be racist against white people, the dominant group that maintains and rules almost all power systems in the Western world, period. Aren't you white, Alyssa? Why were you raised to hate yourself? It's what I want to know. And if you're not white, you could have fooled me. But why are we teaching people to hate? And these are gaming journalists. Why don't they write about gaming stuff? Why does it have to be political activism? If they didn't do this crap, I'd be out of content. I'd be back to making Nintendo Switch indie videos. But this is plaguing us, and people are tired of it, which is why they go under protected tweets, which is why they block, which is why they cry every day. And then he has this obsession with Mark Kern, Grummz, right? Mark Kern's a failed games developer turned reactionary who wants to use the Sweet Baby Inc. coattails to reach popularity. That's what they always say. Oh, it's to reach. No, it's because the majority hates Sweet Baby Inc. It hates DEI. It hates people shoehorning wokeness into stuff. That's why things blow up. That's why anti-woke grifter content does so good, because people are tired of it. And what's wilder is that he's achieving popularity with the exact crowd he wants. Bigoted gamers. Now, quote me on this. I'd rather take bigoted, toxic gamers than progressive, lefty, fucking woke lunatics any fucking day that threaten to physically harm people, that fucking contact people's wives. I would take a bigoted gamer any day of the week. Now, you can see again the obsession. Mark Kern's the stupidest person alive. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Rent-free. Mark Kern's now openly and aggressively harassing a journalist for doing her job. So I want it very publicly known that if you associate with him or agree with any of his ideals, you're simply not welcome in any game in space worth a damn. Okay, I agree with his ideals. Are you going to ban me from the gaming space? You're going to tell me that I'm not welcome in the gaming space? Well, pardon my French, Mr. Ryan, but who the fuck are you? You're obsessed with Grummz to the point where you're writing daily about him, trying to gatekeep him, calling him an idiot. It's almost like you're creepy. You're borderline stalkerish to where now that you're saying he should not know safety and peace, if I was him, I would try to get a restraining order on you, because who knows what you're going to do. You look like a grade A creep like I said, a possible school shooter, somebody that I probably would have bullied in high school and, been wary about, because who knows what somebody like you or your ilk, as y'all like to say, would even do to the wrong person that you think is a bigot or racist or something like that. You guys spew the most hatred out of anybody out there. You're literally threatening physical harm while you're obsessing with people. What are people supposed to think other than to keep an eye on you? Because you sound psycho. You sound like somebody that needs to get off the internet. I don't know if it's because you might be autistic. I don't know if it might be because you're, I don't know, not all there. Maybe you have some kind of depersonalization where you don't know the difference between real life and the internet. But this ain't the real life, dog. This ain't real life, dog. Right? If you talk shit on the internet, if you say stupid shit like calls to violence, death threats, if you invade privacy, if you accuse people of doing stuff, like I've seen you accuse them of DDoSing some kind of website or something. I didn't even look at it. It's on the Park Place article if you guys want to read it. But if you act a certain way on the internet, it's enough of a probable cause to be like, hey, there's something here with this guy. He's threatening safety and peace in people in somebody's life, like to that they shouldn't know what safety is. Like, what is that? To say that somebody should not know what safety and peace is when all they're doing is just writing about video games and reacting to the stupid shit that you guys are doing. It's like Alyssa Mercante, Nick, Jessica Cogswell, you name it. You guys just want to write and say stupid shit online, attack people and get away with it and have no accountability and have no criticism sent your way. You guys have like the biggest narcissistic personalities I've seen out of anybody, to a degree that it's quite worrying. I don't even understand how you guys can function as human beings with the way that y'all act. The echo chamber of snowflakey feelings that you guys have to have. There must be something deeper here. You guys are mentally ill. And watch out for this guy. Grummz, if you haven't put any kind of like restraining order against him, do it, because he's practically threatening your safety. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you on the next one.